Welcome to the Nova Hoopcast Summer Edition. We both have our summer scruff going on, Kevin.
That's right. Lazy time.
Exactly. Hey, there's a lot of basketball going on in the summertime. In the regular season, you got your practice the same time every day, and your games Tuesdays and Fridays for the most part. Summertime, you got summer league, you got team camp, you got AAU, you got a lot of green days. You got a lot of coaches run their own camps.
And coaches don't get paid.
Yeah, I know.
For that. I mean, all these days are great and all, but they don't get paid a whole lot for it. So, we are always on the side of coaches. I wish that could change, but not the time or place. But
right. So it's almost as busy or busier in some ways in the summertime. So we've had a chance to get out and see some summer league games. So I think we want to talk a little bit about summer league first.
Right. Well, we're here at West Springfield High School today, the renovated West Springfield High School.
It's nice.
It's been a while since
Dermy has done a really nice job with it.
Thank you, Dermy. He did a good job. It's a very bright gym now. I think for such a big school, it's still kind of a small, intimate gym. I think a very hard place to play. And they put bleachers behind the baskets, which I think is cool as well. But very excited to be here. We want to talk about the Fairfax Summer League that is being hosted here at West Springfield. While Fairfax gets a new gym, they're getting a new wood floor.
Brand new wood floor, getting rid of that tartan or whatever it is, the rubber floor.
I think they're real excited at Fairfax about that. But they did half the league over at Fairfax. They're finishing up the summer here at West Springfield, and it is playoff time. We have 8 quarterfinalists left. Brian, tell me about the top 3 teams going into the playoffs tonight.
Well, there's a 3-way tie as far as the top record. And tiebreakers determine seeding for the playoffs. But the 3-way tie was between Fairfax, South County, and Freedom all at 9-1. And you can argue, back and forth about how much summer league means. And you have some kids that missed because of AAU, etc. But I think most people would agree, watching these teams throughout the summer, that they probably are the 3 most talented teams in this league. So I would look for one of those teams to win the whole thing. But there have been some upsets along the way already. For sure. And when you talk about those 3 teams, you talk about depth. You've got a Fairfax team that has, very well, has everyone coming back. They have 3 all-district players, and Ricky Peters, Josh Aptu, and Daniel Bongay. And I think Josh Aptu and Daniel Bongay were also all-region. They were.
And then you've got a great supporting cast. We can kind of probably go through the 7th, 8th man with Fairfax and name everybody. But very talented, very deep, and will be a force to be reckoned with in the Patriot. The problem is that South County is also the Patriot, and they're also very deep as well. Have you seen them play this summer, Brian? Yeah, they're really good. When you walk in the gym and look at those guys warm up, they look like a college team physically. They have these big, strong, athletic kids, and I think they're the most talented team in this league. And I think going into next season, you've got to see them right at the top in preseason rankings. They're going to be there at the end of the season as well. I have seen them play, and they're very impressive. Well, the Patriot, as we've always talked about since we've been on the podcast, a very deep, strong, athletic district. So moving on to that last team we talked about, it's a Loudon team. I've seen them play a lot. Freedom, they've got all-state performer Lance Johnson, about 6'5", can do a little bit of everything. They've got a very good point guard, Robbie Kemner. Maybe. Sorry, Robbie. And then a great scorer in Angelo Easter, but it doesn't stop there. They also have a lot of bench kids, and they went to the state finals last year and lost to Maury. And I think they're going to be one of the best teams in Loudon this year for sure, and they're having a good summer. Yeah, I agree. I've seen them play, obviously in this league, and Justin Powers does a really nice job, and they're allowed to come out and coach, and some of the Loudon coaches as well. So that's a different dynamic. Fairfax coaches kind of salty because I've seen Justin Powers out here coaching, and Mike Kuczynski from Riverside. Yep, they're allowed to do that. They're also allowed to go to more team camps. Right. They're allowed. It's not fair. They're allowed more green days. You call them green days in Fairfax. They call them practice days in Loudon. So there's this disparity, and that's Fairfax's doing. That's not that's not the state. It is. The state says you can do more, and Loudon allows their. Come on, Fairfax. That's right. Loosen up a little bit. That's right. All right, stay on track. Hey, so Freedom, like I said, I've seen them play. I like Robbie Kemmerer. Obviously, I think Lance Johnson is very talented. He's an all-region, all-state, type player. Robbie Kemmerer looks like a little running back or a fullback or something. Tough. A strong kid. He's tough. Angelo Easter can score the basketball. They kind of have it going on in their program now. Yeah, they do. Justin Powers is doing a great job, and look for them to continue to have another good season. Some other good teams, Kevin. Hayfield, like Lake Braddock, if you're looking at the standings, they came in behind that 9-1 group. Hayfield, led by Daniel Peterson, senior, 6'7", getting a lot of interest from D3 schools. Great kid, great touch around the basket. Also can shoot, at the three-point line. So looking to have a great season. Braylon Wheeler. And they also picked up Maury transfer. We talked about them being in the state final against Freedom. Corday Jenkins just moved in, and he's adding to the athleticism they have at Hayfield.
Yeah, those high school coaches out there that maybe tune in, you hear all the time about transfers that are moving in. There's always rumors, this kid's moving in, that kid's moving in, this kid was an all-state player. And most of the time, we as coaches find that those rumors don't really pan out. Well, this one might pan out. The kid can play a little bit.
It might. It seems like Hayfield gets a lot of transfers, but not necessarily big transfers. They always get some guards.
Right.
And I know Coach was talking about that over there at Hayfield. But Lake Braddock's the other team that finished 7-3. They're led by the man-child, David Solomon. What a beast he is.
He is an absolute beast. He can get every rebound on the court. What's interesting to me, and I'm sure to you too, is clearly Coach Mitras is trying to help David Solomon expand his game a little bit. He's playing more on the perimeter during Summer League. He's handling the ball quite a bit. And to me, as you look at him, I know he's only going to be a sophomore, but if you project to the next level, that's the thing that could kind of take him over the top. If he can play on the perimeter, right. If he can play on the perimeter and handle the ball and shoot the ball out there, we already know what he can do around the basket. But you're right. You don't know how tall he's going to end up being either. But he definitely is a beast physically and seems to be a hard worker as well.
And they have other kids around him. They graduated Quentin James, obviously, do everything guard for them. He's playing football at Davidson. But he seems to have the same type of kid coming back. These kids who can shoot the ball, make good decisions, and get up and down the floor. So Jimmy Anderson's another good player for Lake Braddock, and I think they're going to have another good season. Obviously, very well coached. Brian Mitras, one of our favorites, does a great job with his X's and O's. So any other teams that stand out there for you, Brian? We're kind of getting to the middle of the pack, but anyone else look good?
Yeah, I think Riverside, who you're familiar with, coming off that magical season last year, winning a district championship and regional championship, going to the state tournament. Again, they're playing like a team that now has some newfound confidence and experience under their belt. So that last year's experience, as great a season as it was, it'll be a springboard, and you've got some good guys coming back on that squad. And that experience and that confidence will pay off big time for them. Bo Everett is back. Your son Simon is back doing his thing.
They're a tough backcourt.
Yeah, they are.
They are good defenders. I think Riverside shares the ball very well, and I think that's going to be better, make them better than their talent actually is, meaning they're playing a complete team game.
Right.
Madison High School, Kevin Rolla always does a great job. They lost a lot, but they've got a couple kids coming back, and they finished 6-4 in Summer League.
Yeah, and you know what you're going to get from them. I mean, you're always going to get great effort. They're going to play a lot of their 1-3-1. They're going to execute well. And I think, Kevin generally maximizes the talent level he's got on that team, and so they've gone 6-4 as well. I'll make one other comment. We were talking about Braddock. Another thing that has caught all of our eyes this summer is that Chantilly seems to have implemented the Lake Braddock style of play. They've got a really good player named Chris Myers. And I'll tell you what, that's a tough style to implement. When you've got it going, obviously, and you got some players, you see what you can do by watching Braddock. But that's been interesting to see come out here in Summer League and see Chantilly trying to implement that philosophy.
I think
they probably won't be the only team to do it.
No, I mean you've got to maximize what you have. High school, you can't recruit, so you might have to change your system and do different things. Right. Any other good players you've seen? I've got a list of some. What have you seen?
I mentioned Chris Myers from Chantilly, and when we were at Fairfax, we saw them last year. They played in our Christmas tournament. Derek Smith was with them, but Chris Myers was really good last year. But I think he flew under the radar a lot. I know he's had a tremendous spring and summer playing AAU. You've seen him with the Nova Cavaliers, and he's probably right up there as one of the most highly recruited D3 guys in the area, and Lance Johnson as well. So Chris Myers, I think, has done a great job. I would say Jack Taylor from Marshall is a rising junior.
He might be the best junior in.
He's a pretty talented kid. From my perspective, the challenge for him is going to be there's a good group that has graduated from Marshall. And so he was allowed to play a certain role as a freshman, and Daniel Diva was there. And now he's kind of got a younger group around him, even though he's young as well. So I think it's going to take some time, and they're in the midst of a coaching change as well.
They are. I think that's going on right now, and we can't say much.
We can.
But we do have some insider information about that. I think a decision will be coming out very, very soon about that.
Stay tuned. Any good players catch your eye?
I like Aaron Queen from Wakefield. Wakefield kind of reloading. Tony Bentley does a great job. I think they're going to have another solid year. There's a couple guards from Robinson, Drew Rowson, Peter Snizer. Also a good guard who can score.
Drew Rowson bringing short shorts back.
This is a thing. If you go to AAU, it's not every kid, but there's some kids, not only are they short, but they're tucking them in, which I kind of don't get. It looks like they're wearing my daughter's cheerleading shorts. I can say juicy on the back.
That pendulum just swings back and forth.
That's right. That's right. McLean had a surprise win over Madison the other night. Nate Legg playing well this summer. Randy Shepard, who transferred from Gonzaga, got hurt a little bit last year in the season. I don't think he showed what he can really do yet. He's an all-district performer. And then they have the Bremser brothers, Aaron and Evan from McLean as well.
Right.
So
you mentioned upsets, Kevin. I'll throw out there a couple others. In the first round playoff games, Westfield defeated Hayfield 63-62.
Yes.
Sam Johnson for Westfield, good player.
And he is a brother.
Hank Johnson's brother, played there as well. Noah Kim plays for them, who's going to Virginia Tech to play football.
I'm a little surprised. I think it's great.
Playing summer league basketball, we all like to see guys play multiple sports. There's probably a football coach somewhere, either in the Chantilly area or Blacksburg, saying, "Why are you out there playing basketball?"
And he's out there. And they have a big name on there, shooter that we know, the Vetter family.
Right.
Stu Vetter,
real good shooter.
Uncle to a player on Westfield.
Yeah.
His dad, John Vetter, was a good player as well at Osborne. And he had a couple threes. I think he had 5 threes in that win, that upset win they had. So tonight, let's talk about who's playing tonight in the quarterfinals.
Okay, we got Fairfax against Wakefield. Always a good matchup. South County against Riverside. Also, I mean,
those
really
two
good
games I think are in the main gym, right?
In the main gym. By the time you're watching this, you probably know the result.
Yeah.
But really going to be good games to watch. And the games in the back gym are Langley against Westfield, who, again, they both had upsets.
Langley beat Lake Braddock.
Langley beat Braddock by 5, 57-52, which is a surprise. And then Westfield beat Hayfield 63-62.
So that's kind of an upset.
Yeah. So Langley, Westfield, and then Freedom against McLean. McLean, again, you talked about them a minute ago, coming off a win over Madison. I'll tell you what, those first 2 games that we talked about and that are going to be here in the main gym are going to be good ones. Fairfax, Wakefield, and South County, Riverside.
And really, what does it mean? We always joke, do you know who won the Summer League Championship last year at Fairfax or at Flint Hill? I don't. Does it really matter? Maybe not. But if you win it, you want to win more. It's a culture of winning. If you didn't think you were going to be very good and you end up going 5-5 or 6-4 and had some quality upset wins like a McLean or in this case Westfield, it might mean something to you. But in the bigger scheme of things, you can't put too much emphasis on it.
Well, great point, because there's so much psychology involved in it, and you're always selling things to your players. And I think it was our mentor, Ed Grimm, who used to tell us, nobody remembers who wins championships in Summer League. But if your team wins it, you're going to seize the opportunity and really build up your kids. And if you don't perform well, you're going to remind them that nobody remembers who wins Summer Leagues. So it is a great opportunity, especially for teams that have graduated, important players, and have younger kids coming up. It's really a nice chance for them to get out there and start to develop some chemistry.
I'm going to put you on the spot real quick because Fairfax is also playing in the Flint Hill Summer League. Did that just start? I mean, have they played a couple games over there?
Yeah, they're about, I'd say, 2/3 of the way through over there. It goes pretty quick once they get started. I think they play maybe 4 games a night.
Any good teams over there that are not in this league that maybe stand out to you? I know there's some private schools in there along with the public, but
I've only been to a couple games over there. But I've seen Centerville over there. They look good. They look good with Kazemka Kid and Lance Douglas coming back. Flint Hill obviously looks good. But you bring up another interesting point with teams in multiple leagues. And if you have 20 kids involved in your summer program, how do you allocate kids to different leagues? And every coach does it differently. So that's the other thing about summer is you're not always sure who you're going to see. If you're just a casual fan saying, I'm going to go over and watch this game, well, the school might have 2 games on the same night in 2 different leagues. And so sometimes you see like a split squad. So it's interesting. But yeah, that Flint Hill League is certainly a good one and a long-standing league that's been going on for years, since long before Rico even got there, when Palmer used to run that league.
Good example of how to allocate your kids. I know that Woodson played in this league and finished 1-9 in the regular season. It was mainly because they had summer league over at DeMatha they were playing in, and they kind of split it up. Yeah. And I think nowadays, I know at Fairfax, I've talked to Coach Barbie about this. He's trying to get kids different looks with different people, because you want kids and or parents to feel like you didn't just stick them over in this league and say, hey, good luck. You're in a summer league, but I really don't care about it. You put them with kids who can play, so you maybe have a kid who's not a leader, have to be a leader in one league.
Right.
I think there's a lot of different ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for all kids, especially the kids who are into it and want to be good players.
Right. Well, it's a great point. It brings up two ideas. One, kids play summer league, they play AAU, they play so many games. There was an article somewhere online I read recently about that, the overuse and some of the injuries. And so you've got to, somebody asked me one night here, or maybe it was at Flint Hill, why somebody wasn't playing for us. And I said, load management. Kind of joking, but it's true. I mean, you think about players in the NBA having a night off for load management. You kind of have to do that now in the high school and AAU landscape.
Well, you know what? Something that just occurs to me is that's not the culture that trainers are building and some parents are building. It's grind season. Yeah. We got to go every night. If you're not going hard, someone else is. But to what end? I mean, these kids are doing a lot. Yeah. You mentioned at the beginning of the show, summer league, team camp, workouts, AAU, maybe a trainer. What if they play another sport? Yeah. Oh, God, they're probably doing even more. Right. I know personally for my son, he plays football and basketball. He does not have a free night off. Right. And we have to say, you're not doing anything. Tell your coach in advance, because otherwise they get burned out. And you wonder why kids late in their season are not into it or are tired, because they've played 60 games in the summer. Right. Which is crazy. So.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. You brought up another good point. As a coach, I think you have to put your ego aside a little bit and do what's best for your program. Like, I've gone over to that Flint Hill League to watch Fairfax play, and I've seen some kids play roles that they don't have to play when everybody is there, and it's been really good for them. You might not win as many games, and so as a coach, you you have to really think about what's best for your program and for your players, for their development. It's not all about trying to win as many games as you can in the summertime. A couple other things I thought maybe we'd discuss a little bit in the summer period. There's been a new format, a lot of new recruiting calendar issues implemented by the NCAA this year. We're not necessarily experts on all of it, but one thing that has caught a lot of people's attention, a lot of high school coaches, and you see it all on social media, is these high school live periods where high schools have had an opportunity to play in a team camp setting in front of college coaches. And I think it was an effort on the part of the NCAA to bring the high school coaches and the high school programs back into the recruiting process, because as you know, we were in it for a long time, and then we were kind of out, and it was all AAU. Right. So it was up to NCAA gave state high school associations permission to organize these live team camps for NCAA coaches to attend. The vast majority of state high school associations decided not to do it for a variety of reasons.
I think it was 16 high schools 16 states decided to do it.
So there's a number of issues ranging from Title IX issues to insurance issues that I've heard from people that were concerns that were raised. And it was new, so anytime something's new, nobody knows how it's going to go. But I think the overwhelming response from the high school community has been positive, because kids have had a chance to go out and play in front of college coaches, being coached by their high school coach with their high school teammates, and a number of kids that are good enough, I think, were able to generate offers in that environment.
So you're talking about other states,
And DC did it, and private schools, Virginia independent schools did it as well.
Blue Ridge,
I think they each did. There were 2 weekends that they were allowed to do it, and I think DC and private schools in Virginia.
But I think I think the VHSL, which is the public school organization, I think allowed you to go to DC if you wanted to. You couldn't go to the private school one, obviously.
Correct.
But you could have gone to the DC.
Yeah, but I think it was a tough invite.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because in DC you've got so many public school or private schools and some very good public schools as well. So it sounds like what you're saying, the VHSL kind of took a step back and said, we want to see how it
Yeah,
worked for
and
other people.
I haven't had any conversation with anybody down there. Maybe we will, who knows? But I'd like to see it. It seems like it was a good thing. And I'm not saying we have a million Division I kids, but we have some. And we have some Division II kids. And I think it'd be a good opportunity. It's just, we talked in the previous segment about how Loudon has certain rules.
Right.
And Fairfax has some restrictions. This is another area that the public schools in Virginia did not have a VHSL-sponsored live event, and it would be a great opportunity for kids in this state and in this area to play. In an event like
What has been your feedback from people? I've talked to other coaches. We're here tonight, and we'll have an opportunity to maybe grab some coaches to see how they feel. But have you heard any feedback from coaches in terms of how they felt it impacted their programs when they had to sit out this year, not participate?
Yeah, I mean, I think the ones that it impacts the most are kids that have, teams that have like fringe Division I kids that maybe aren't getting quite the interest that they would hope. And so if you plan an event like that where there's multiple Division I level kids, then I think it can maybe put that kid over the top. I think most of the coaches I've talked to understand, like, it was an unknown when it was put out there. It was put out there, I think, pretty late by the NCAA. Yeah. And so nobody really knew what to expect. But I think I get the sense that it has some momentum because people feel like that the ones that went to it feel like it went well. And so I think there's a little bit of momentum. And I'd be curious if there's been some coaches and people around the state that since those events have maybe reached out to Virginia high school leaders.
If I'm a public school coach, I want it to happen through VHSL because, I've heard of situations in Maryland where kids, who are on the borderline anyway, feel like they're not getting exposure to the public school, leave to go to a private school.
Yeah,
they don't need many reasons.
Right. So if there's another one.
That's another reason.
Yeah.
So I think we do have to be competitive with other places, and I hope that is something that's implemented. Again, I don't know all the issues. I've heard Title IX. I understand Title IX, but I don't understand all the arguments for both sides. But I hope it is put into play for next year because I think it only hurts us.
Yeah, and I'll say this: you don't only want to plan those to get Division I offers. I mean, the team you coach, AAU, Nova Cavaliers, I don't think there's any Division I kids on that, but they're good players. We like the opportunity to showcase the kids from our area, and it would also be a chance for high school coaches to be a little bit more involved in that process, to coach in an event like that and be able to kind of showcase their kids. So we're both obviously big supporters of public school basketball, so we'd like to see it happen. Kevin, one other issue that I think I tweeted about, I think it was Fran Fraschilla, and I haven't read this book. He mentioned a book, Sprawl Ball, which has all kinds of analytics in it. And I guess one of the premise of his tweet was to maybe move the three-point line back because it's just become too much a part of the game.
Well, in college they have, right?
Yeah, they have moved it back. But there was also, I think he wants to move back even further, maybe in the NBA. The other, the interesting, there were a number of proposals that I guess maybe were brought up in this book. One was make a regular field goal 3 and make the shot beyond the arc 4. Because now, because that would bring the proportion, I guess, smaller of the value of a shot behind the arc.
Right.
But I think, and again, I'll mention our mentor, when the three-point line first came into being, Ed Grimm, who we coached with at Paul VI, thought it was a travesty, the worst thing in basketball. I've really enjoyed it. I've loved coaching with it. I think it's brought a new level of excitement to the game. But I do think, at least on a high school level, I think it needs to be moved back. I do miss, there's no post play anymore.
Right.
There's no mid-range game anymore.
No,
everybody
coaches
talks,
don't want to shoot. I know
analytics,
coaches like layups and threes.
Layups and corner threes.
Right.
Again, I don't fault coaches at all. I mean, you do your research and you do your homework and you kind of do play what style of play gives you the best chance to win. But I think it's taken away a certain part of the game that, again, this is where maybe we sound like old guys. But I would like to see a little bit more mid-range game, a little bit more post-play come back, and I think it's become a little bit too much a part of the game.
I agree, and I will say that it's helped the game in the sense that when Steph Curry starts hitting threes, you get excited when he hits that third one. And if you do it in a high school gym, I mean, it's as good as a dunk. momentum-wise, in terms of energy. So I understand that it's really helped the game in that sense. But you mentioned the AAU team that I help with. We played teams in different parts of the country, East Coast. But we were in Boston. We played a team that was very talented, and they weren't real big. And they loved the three. They would come down and pull up on a fast break. They would kick it out to shoot the three. And early on, it was effective because they were hitting shots. But like a lot of teams, they're not that good to consistently do it. And that's the problem in high school is you fall in love with it and you're not that good to do it because it is the NBA players make it look easy to do, and it's not that easy.
Yeah,
you know?
You still live by it and die by it, I guess.
Yes.
So interesting. Just kind of popped up this summer, and I'm sure we'll hear more about it. And they are moving it back in college, Division I for next season.
Right.
Lower levels. I'm not sure what Division II is doing. I know they gave Division III a grace period because, like we've talked about with some of these rules issues, when they filter down to the high school level, it's not as easy to just say move the line back or put the shot clock in. It takes some money and resources to get those things done. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, we're here at West Springfield tonight. Hopefully we'll get a chance to interview some people. And hopefully you stay tuned for that. We'll grab some coaches and some kids at tonight's quarterfinals.
Well, we have our first interview of the night here at the Fairfax Summer League, hosted right now at West Springfield High School. You'll see a game going on behind us between Wakefield and Fairfax High School. And my first guest today is Coach Jerry Lynn. And we have some big news here. We have a big scoop here on the Nova Hoopcast, and that is Jerry Lynn has just been named the Marshall High School head coach, and that happened today. So congratulations to you, Jerry. You've been there as a coach, you've been there as a player. What's it like to go back to your alma mater?
Oh, I'm just really excited about it. It's something that's always a dream of mine. Obviously, I was a player and also a coach there for a long, long time. Still working the building. I just love the community over there. They got some wonderful people in the building, and I'm excited to work with the group of young guys that we have coming back in the program. Just excited.
And as you should be. I know you were there a long time. It's a job you really wanted for a lot of different reasons. We talked earlier in the podcast about Jack Taylor and him being one of the better juniors in Northern Virginia. Tell us a little bit about him and what kind of player he is.
I'm excited to work with Jack. Jack's a very talented kid. He's a long-ranging, wiry athlete with a lot of basketball skill set. He can put the ball into the basket, obviously. I think he's going to be one of the better scorers in our district. He's very talented. I'm excited to work with him. I think he's going to have a big year ahead of him. I just think that he's going to be one of the leaders that we count on at Marshall this upcoming season.
I know Jerry wants to get back to the game behind me. He's currently, as of right now, still the assistant at Fairfax High School. He hasn't told the kids yet. Like I said, this is an exclusive. He'll be telling the kids tonight, but we'll let him get back to it. But from everyone here at the Nova Hoopcast and from me personally, congratulations, Jerry. Good luck to you, and we promise to be watching your squad all year.
Hey, we're here now with Adam Ayalu from Prep Hoops. Adam sees more basketball than any of us combined. He's in the gym, I think, all day, every day. You've probably seen him if you've been out and about. Hey, Adam, one of the things Kevin and I were talking about earlier were the new live events that state high school associations ran, and that most of the public school associations chose not to run them this year. But it seems like the feedback on social media was really good. There were some good opportunities for some kids. I assume you made it out to some of those events. What'd you see, and what was your opinion on those events?
Well, I just thought that overall it was a good idea, a good thought behind it. You know, seeing kids in the high school settings is not something that a lot of college coaches get a chance to do, especially because, you know, during the high school season, they have their own season going on. They're traveling and preparing for their own games, so they don't really have much time to be on the road recruiting. I think it benefits the little bit more than older kids. I think it benefits the younger kids a little bit more because find often 17U is pretty much the main focus for a lot of these college coaches. So if you're like an underclassman that's playing well on, you know, a good team, you're more likely to get seen, I think, in that setting than in the regular AAU setting. So I thought that was a positive. Obviously, the main negative that everyone's been talking about is public schools not getting a chance to showcase, you know, what they can do in front of the college coaches. I think there's a lot of good public schools, a lot of good talent in public schools that definitely deserve the opportunity to get showcased, and I thought that was definitely something that they need to at least look at and try figure out a way to incorporate that, because I thought that was pretty unfair. So that's just my main thought.
Right. Yeah, Kevin and I talked about it was also an opportunity for some of the public school coaches to get back involved in the recruiting process. We, as public school coaches, have kind of been out of it for a while. So I'm sure it's not the last we've heard of it, but thanks for sharing your thoughts with us.
I appreciate you for having me on.
All right, we're here with two of the Fairfax Rebels, senior Christian Lewis and senior Josh Abtu. They just finished playing their quarterfinal game over Wakefield. They beat them by a couple points in a good game. I want to know, guys, as seniors, what are your expectations going into this final year of basketball at Fairfax?
Pretty much our expectations are to, we're back with the same group as last year. We went pretty hard last year, but we didn't end like how we wanted to. So pretty much we want district, regionals, and possibly states.
How about you, Josh? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, going off what he said, we're back with the same core guys. Like the first 7 guys are back basically from last year, so we're looking to build off of that, and hopefully we get some hardware this year. We missed out on districts, and hopefully deep run into regionals and states.
Well, you guys are going to have to beat the team that's playing behind us, South County, who's been the last couple of years a tough team to beat. So good luck this year. We've talked a lot about Fairfax, their depth, and these two guys are going to be a big part of it. We're here with Mike Barbie, coordinator, director, owner, producer of the Fairfax Summer League. Coach, back in the day, I had a team in the Fairfax Summer League. Then it went away for a while. How long you been doing it, and why'd you bring it back?
Yeah, this is our 7th year running the Summer League. Obviously, it's our first year here at West Springfield where our gym's being worked on. Honestly, what brought it back for me, one is I played in that league back in the day, and I always loved having it as a great gym to have a league in. And the other was I got tired of just driving an hour in traffic to other places and just figured if I'm going to be at basketball, I'd rather sit in a gym and watch good basketball all day.
What's the worst thing about running a summer league, Coach?
Just the many nights where there's just days where I would like to go home and do something, but I'm going to be here till 9:30, picking up water bottles and putting in chairs and all that stuff.
Final serious question. We interviewed a couple of your players earlier about their expectations for their senior year. What are your expectations, and what are you looking forward to with this group?
I definitely think this is a group that has the potential to have a special year. A lot of them have been together for many years of us up on varsity. They've worked very hard. They're very unselfish players. They just care about winning. They don't care about other things. But that being said, we're in an unbelievable district. There's a lot of good teams. West Springfield's got some good young kids. Robinson, that brings back most of their team. Woodson's always good. Lake Brack's really good. They got David Solomon back, and South County is a very, very special group.
And they're playing behind us right now. Watching them play is fun. So good luck, Coach Barbie. Thanks for your time, and thanks for doing a great job with the Summer League.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm here with Lance Johnson and Robbie Kemmerer from Freedom. They just won a quarterfinal matchup here in the Fairfax Summer League, so they advanced to the semifinals last night. Guys, tremendous season last year. You both played in the state final game. I imagine that's got to be a real momentum builder going into the offseason. Robbie, can you talk a little bit about that experience and what it's done for you guys going into the offseason?
It was a really cool experience. We got to come together as a team and make a nice playoff run. I think it's brought us closer together for next year.
Yeah, it definitely shows on the court this summer. Lance, I've had the chance to see you play here and in AAU a little bit. I've seen you do a little bit of everything. You seem like a versatile player. If you're writing a scouting report on yourself, how would you describe your game?
I could do a little bit of everything. Defend, play in the post, shoot the ball, can handle the ball a little bit. So.
Yep. You guys have a nice combination. You two guys, Angelo, Easter. I know I'm leaving some other guys out, but again, a tremendous season last year. A nice win tonight. I'm here with Justin Powers, head coach of the Freedom Eagles. Just won a quarterfinal game here at the Fairfax League, playing the semifinals tomorrow night. Coach, I was just talking to a couple of your guys. Tremendous season last year, obviously an appearance in the state final. What did that do for you heading into this off season? You got a nice tradition going. It's got to be a great springboard into the off season.
Yeah, I think last year we were kind of ahead of schedule. The year before that we graduated a lot of seniors that played important minutes. So I think last year, just the experience, the playoff run and playing in big games, traveling 6 hours to Danville and all that type of stuff really is going to help us this next year. I've sensed that the kids are hungry this year. They want to, we got there, we lost. They want to come back and win it this year.
Yeah, once you get a taste of it, you want more, I guess. Coach, one thing maybe you're focusing on as you kind of wrap up the summer, any particular areas of improvement you're looking at?
I think, we have some guys that are playing new roles, just continue, Robbie is one of our main ball handlers, but we lost our second main ball handler. So just trying to figure out who the other guy that can handle the ball besides Robbie. And also just, tighten up our defense. At times we gamble a little bit too much, and in the playoffs, I think that was what was most important for us.
Good. Thanks, Coach, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thank you.
I'm here with Coach Mike Robinson and senior Cody Kellum from the South County Stallions, who just pulled off a 60-48 win in the quarterfinals here at the Fairfax Summer League. Coach Robinson, talk to us a little bit about your team and what your expectations are this year.
Well, my expectation is that we come out and play hard every night, and let that take care of it. And let that take care of itself. Winning comes when you got everybody doing their jobs, and we're not right now concerned with winning and losing. More about everybody understanding their roles and playing hard and for one purpose.
You guys got a lot back, Cody. You're going to be one of the 4 seniors on this year's team. What do you think the goals are for the guys coming back?
The main goal is to win a ring. That's all we want to do. There's no iron team. I don't really have no personal goal, but our main goal for seniors is to win a ring.
Well, if you guys have been around Northern Virginia basketball for a while, you know that South County can put good teams on the floor. They're 2018 state champs, and after watching them today, I think they got another good chance to get back there. Thank you, guys.